You have heard the sayings, power is not given, it is taken, or power is not served a la carte. Is that always the case? In today's scriptures, we see God deposing a king and coronate another. The major symbol in today's scriptures is the key, which represents the authority God committed to the hands of Eliakim and St. Peter. In the first reading, God removes Shebna from office because of his pride and replaces him with Eliakim. He said, "I will thrust you from your office, and you will be pulled down from your post. On that day I will call my servant Eliakim, son of Hilkiah, and I will clothe him with your robe and bind your sash on him. I will commit your authority to his hand, and he shall be a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and to the house of Judah. I will place on his shoulder the key of the house of David. He shall open, and no one shall shut. He shall shut, and no one shall open." So, God took the key of the house of David, that is, the mandate from Shebna, and bestowed it on Eliakim, declaring that what he opens, none shall shut. What he shuts, none shall open. Shebna now joins the list of kings who were rejected by God. God gives power to those who are willing to serve, not those who seek self-glory. The first reading directly sets the stage for the gospel. Jesus uses the exact same language when he gives St. Peter the keys of the kingdom of heaven, declaring that whatever he binds on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever he looses shall be loosed. Eliakim is described as a peg in a sure place. In other words, he is the firm anchor that holds the weight of the entire royal house. In the gospel, Jesus changes Simon's name to Peter, meaning rock. Peter becomes the solid, unshakable foundation holding up the weight of the church. God called Eliakim the father of the inhabitants of Jerusalem and Judah, pointing to the fact that authority is meant for protection and care and not for personal glory. In like manner, St. Peter is given the role of the chief shepherd, the Holy Father, to care for Christ's flock, proving that spiritual leadership must mimic God's fatherly love. Eliakim is a servant chosen by God, not by human politics, to replace a proud leader. Simon Peter is a flawed fisherman who is chosen by God, who revealed to him the truth of Jesus' identity, showing us that God works through weak human instruments. Dear friends, in spite of our human agency, there is no authority except from God. Compare Romans chapter 13, verse 1, Daniel chapter 2, verse 21. God replaced Shebna with Eliakim because Shebna became prideful. In what areas of our life has God given us authority or influence? And how can we guard against pride in those privileged roles? In the second reading, St. Paul writes about the unsearchable depth of God's wisdom. When have you experienced a situation where you did not understand God's plan at first, but later saw his wisdom at work? Jesus tells Peter that flesh and blood did not reveal the truth to him. When in your life have you experienced a truth of faith that felt revealed by God rather than learned from people? How does knowing that God works through imperfect people change the way you view leadership in the church and your own call to serve? If Christ holds the ultimate keys to your life, What doors are you currently trying to open or close on your own strength instead of trusting His authority? May God give us the grace to be faithful stewards of the authority He has entrusted to us, to open and shut at different capacities to the glory of God. Amen.